I don't remember my first panic attack.
What's more important, your child's education or punishing mom? All of this just piling on you. The finger pointing, being blamed at you.
And this had me on the ground. I couldn't breathe. It was going to be okay. And I felt the support of 100 women in that moment.
I'm Jenny Lynn.
And I'm Jen.
And we're
in high conflict hell.
If you know, you know. But let's make sure you're in the right place.
You're in the right place if you almost passed out yesterday from a panic attack.
Well, you're in the right place if you haven't had panic attacks in years and now you're having panic attacks. Again,
you're in the right place if you needed an adult babysitter.
You're in the right place if panic attacks and the patriarchy go hand in hand.
You're in the right place if you need a little medication to get through the hard days and the easy days.
Well,
we hope not.
But if you are, welcome. You are in great company, actually, because you're with us. So
turns out we turn everything into entertainment, we've been told.
Yeah, that's been written towards us that this is a serious topic and we're just making light of it in entertainment. And, you know, it's not easy to put your life out there like this for everybody to comment on and
consume
and spin and put intentions to it. And if you are this concerned about all of the stuff we're talking about, then that's the goal.
Right.
Because it just has to be a conversation. And if it's not a conversation, then there's a problem.
Right. And people are supposed to talk about it to bring awareness. Domestic violence, you're supposed to talk about it to bring awareness.
Suicide, you're supposed to talk about it to bring awareness.
What are we supposed to do with this? We're supposed to shut up.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to provide it to people. And this content is to build a community so you do not feel alone. If we happen to be really fucking funny along the way, that is a byproduct.
Okay, and let's be clear. In order to engage people on a topic, it does have to entertain.
Right.
And what I will say is it's not that easy to entertain while talking about this topic.
Right.
So if we're doing that, hey, good for us. If we're also not doing that, but you're still talking about it, hey, good for us. So I just wanted to put that out there before we started. And if you are listening and you're really annoyed by what we're saying,
stop listening.
No, actually go up to the top right-hand corner, press the follow button. That way you can be alerted to anytime we're about to say something that's going to irritate the fuck out of you.
Yeah, you can be annoyed twice a week.
Yeah, exactly.
If you really want to. But if you are a regular listener, thank you so much because I am sure you have already followed us and rated us on Spotify and Apple. If you haven't, go do that. But what we really need now is if you go over to YouTube and hit subscribe on our channel, that is your next line of business. That is what we need for you to do.
Yeah.
And then you can go leave those mean comments there if you want to too.
Right? Thank you.
You have all kinds of places where you can go leave mean comments.
Okay, so today we're talking about panic attacks and the patriarchy. And they don't always go hand in hand, but lately for us, they kind of have gone hand in hand. But what I will say is that I did not experience panic attacks until really, I can remember my first panic attack. And it was right when I started the process of leaving my ex-husband. And it took me about a year to leave, is what I will say.
That's fast.
It felt like forever. But my first panic attack was on an airplane coming back to Seattle. I was at my mom's with all 3 kids by myself. My youngest was 1. And I had a panic attack on the plane coming back into my life. But I didn't even think then, oh, I have to leave. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, and same.
I was like, oh, I wonder why I'm having this panic attack.
Yeah.
I've never had one before. I think I'm going to throw up. I have a baby on my lap on a plane. I need a vomit bag. What the hell's happening? In my head, I'm like, am I altitude sick? Never been altitude sick in a day in my life. But that was my train of thought. Am I air sick?
Do I have food poisoning?
Do I have food poisoning? What is happening?
Oh my God, sudden onset flu. Immediate. Weird.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to talk about your panic attack yesterday or do you want to talk about your first panic attack?
I don't remember my first panic attack.
You've always had them.
I have a memory of a panic attack that feels like my first memorable panic attack.
How old were you, do you think?
12-ish.
Okay.
That's a guess. Shot in the dark.
Yeah.
I remember was having a panic attack over the things that went on in my home. And, I had an interesting abusive upbringing. And I just remember feeling like no one can hear me and I can't hear myself. And now I've lost control of my thoughts. Now I can't breathe.
So what happened yesterday? Okay. And let me just be clear. You've already had a couple hearings. You've been found in contempt. There's going to be a GAL that's going to be involved. They've opened your final parenting plan for reevaluation. They're only asking for a minor modification, yet they're definitely making some very harsh accusations against you. I also want to be clear. They're making some very serious allegations about your mental health, which also then feels risky talking about.
Right.
Asking for an investigation into your home
And my mental stability.
and your mental stability. They actually requested less time with the kids and won less time with the kids. He had all holidays. Now he only has half. He still has only every other weekend. And now his pickup time is an hour later than it was. So despite the fact they're calling into question the safety of primary parent and security of primary parent, they asked for and won less time. Okay.
This is why it's an entertaining podcast, because that's a joke.
It is a joke. So now what's going on is you have oldest child in private school. You've made it very clear since the inception of this case to your ex-husband, ex-Homer, who doesn't have a stable address, that you're not going to be able to do a court battle along with private school. We've said on here, that's the reality of the situation, is that if you're going to be expected to pay thousands and thousands of dollars in court fees and GAL investigations and
Pay for my own demise.
right, that private school might be off the table.
Well, and my specific email that they used against me in court was, can we please have a discussion about this? Here's some of our options.
Right.
And I was told, you're making a unilateral decision, pull the kid out of school.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't do that.
Yeah.
And so I went a couple of weeks,
And let me just
actually
say
almost
too,
a month.
Yeah, because we're talking about panic attacks and probably the patriarchy. But this also has a lot to do with education decision making. And this is a huge hot button topic in the parenting plan world, because decision making around education is specifically called out for, and joint is mostly the default. Like
Right.
if one parent or the other is asking for it and the other parent doesn't agree, they're going to do joint. So you have joint decision making on education.
Yes. And we've never even had a tiny tiff over this.
Right.
Ever until now.
Okay.
So it actually went almost a month where I didn't hear from the attorney. Everything was calm.
After your
the
last hearing.
Yep. And up until yesterday.
It's 3 weeks.
Yeah. I heard a little bit, but it wasn't anything crazy.
And you've been in regular contact with your ex-husband. He specifically wrote a message that he wants to
I
settle.
want to settle. I don't want to deal with tens and tens of thousands of dollars and more fees.
Yeah, that's specifically. He
So-
wants to settle because he doesn't want to have to pay what is going to be tens of thousands of more dollars.
And so he wanted me to prepare a settlement and send it to him before I send it to his attorney. And after a couple of days of thinking, because he did say he wants a couple of minor changes in the temporary parenting plan. Turns out he still wants to come to my house to pick up the kids. Turns out he
Yep.
wants to get out of the car and talk to me at pickup.
Yep.
And he specifically required in the new parenting plan that he proposed is that neither parent is to get out of the vehicle at kid exchange, and neither parent is supposed to talk to each other.
Jen, that's just a baseline.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard this, but
You know who I heard this from?
Right.
A man that was leaning over into my car window handing my favorite candy bar. And I said, hey, we're not supposed to be out of the car. And he said, that's just a baseline.
it's a baseline for him.
a court
guarantee-
order for me.
Yep.
A baseline for you.
I guarantee you that's what his attorney told him. That's just a baseline. You don't follow that baseline, you're in contempt, you're in trouble. He doesn't follow that baseline, he's being a flexible co-parent.
I know.
The double
So
standards here are real.
Actually, the person that's usually stayed in their car and not gotten out, not gone into a house, not done any of that is me. He has regularly been out of the car, in my house, talking to me, chatting with me, bringing me kids stuff when I pick up at his house. I don't get out of the car, and I try really hard not to talk to him. So all this to say that now in this new temporary parenting plan, he has gone against almost everything that he asked for that seemed to be so specifically called out in the temporary parenting plan. He's even asked to pick up the kids early. And now he has right of first refusal. So if I have to be anywhere where I'll be away from the kids overnight, he has to be the first person I ask, which is just fine with me. It's usually how we've operated. It's him that hasn't done that. He'll have his mom come pick up the kids and not see them for an entire weekend. And So I went for 3 weeks while my ex-husband is like, hey, let's settle. Hey, here's your favorite candy bar. Hey, let's go to sushi dinner. Hey, let's go to Great Wolf Lodge. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. Let's settle. Let's settle. Let's settle. To a couple of days ago when I started getting back to back, I got 3 emails from his attorney that were mean emails. And attorney also responded and said, I've received 4 emails from you, Jennifer. And I said, yeah, because you sent me 3 emails. And he said, I didn't send you 3 emails. I sent you one at 12:58 p.m.
Okay.
Which had any detail that it has. Yeah.
It doesn't even.
And I started screenshotting them so I could send it back to him and show him where he emailed me, but I didn't.
It doesn't matter. It's
Right.
like just like posturing.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But the truth doesn't matter. The truth doesn't fucking matter. So the emails were horrible because they are twisting every last thing to fit their narrative. And
of everything being your fault.
yeah, everything is my fault. We wouldn't be doing this if you didn't make such poor decisions. If you weren't a bad mom, we wouldn't be having to do this.
Your child would still be in the same private school if you weren't doing this. Wait. If I didn't do what? Defend myself against 3 emotions? Defend myself against someone telling me my home was a disturbing environment?
Ex-Homer's financial capabilities would be different if he didn't have to spend money to have you punished for the things that we claim.
That's the rationale.
Yeah.
It's your fault. Ex-Homer has to spend this kind of money because you are the problem. If you weren't a problem, he wouldn't have to be doing this.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is it my fault that he gave them all iPads?
Yes.
Okay. Is it my fault that he was logged into his Gmail account on our oldest child's iPad that he gave them?
Yes.
Is it my fault that he was logged into his iCloud?
Yes.
Is it my fault that our child, that is now 13, saw explicit sexual content?
Yes, because you need to train your child not to look at messages. We've been over that one a few times.
Is it my fault that he got kicked out of the last partner's house for all the cheating?
Oh, yes. Yes, because if you were the best wife in the world, he would have never had to cheat on you, and then you would have never had to leave. If you were a better wife, none of this would be happening. Yes.
Is it my fault that he then immediately moved them in 2 months later with someone else?
Yes. Once again, let's default back to the wife rationale.
Is it my fault that they got engaged and then secretly got married?
Yes. Once again, if you were a better wife, none of this would be happening.
Okay, I think I get it now. This is actually,
I'm glad we had this convo.
This is all my fault.
This is progress. And let me just be clear, that was sarcasm. No, absolutely 0 of these things are Jen's fault. She has done nothing but provide a safe and stable home for her kids. And we're not perfect parents. She is not a perfect mother. I am not a perfect mother. None of us are perfect mothers. But let me be clear, none of this is her fault. There is a way to amicably approach, resolve, address all of these things, which they have done for 7 years. And the fact that he has chosen, your ex-husband has chosen to hire an extremely aggressive attorney to then take what might have been a small flame of conflict about X, Y, Z, all of the above, and turn it into a raging forest fire, all for the sake of profit, all for the sake of money. None of that is your fault. And I truly do believe it is the fault of the patriarchy. But go ahead.
Oh, well, his attorney keeps saying things like, I hope that you're going to start working with me and ex-Homer so that we can provide a better environment for your children. You are not a parent to my children. And if my ex-husband, if ex-Homer believes that this man cares about our children, then call me the Queen of England.
If this, exactly, Mayor of Seattle, if this is his exemplary performance of how to act in children's best interest, once again, I'd like a 2-hour TED Talk of how that works.
Yeah.
If destabilizing mom, primary parent is in the best interest of 3 children under the age of 13, I would love to hear a 2-hour TED Talk of how that makes sense. Destabilize mom financially, emotionally, physically, because when your immune system's down and you're trying to still keep on top of your physical health and you're spraining your ankle and you're hurting your knee. And I blew out my knee in the middle of my divorce.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of women who have gotten physically very injured. And it has to just do with you're not sleeping right, you're not eating right, your whole body's run down, and now all of a sudden you have a physical injury.
It won't get better.
I know. I know.
I've got bruises and cuts that are sticking around forever, and I'm not doing anything different. And that's the problem, is that our bodies react to us.
Absolutely.
They try to send us messages. So yesterday getting all these emails, I just hit a wall. I knew that I was hitting a wall.
So can you read what the email says? Because we're talking about your oldest child's school. And this has been a few month-long conversation because her school is not free. It is a private school. And Jen has made it clear that she's not going to be able to afford both. Trial. She's already been slapped with fees. We know the cost of the GAL is $6,000. That's subject to reallocation. So ex-husband has to pay those fees up front.
And so is their therapy, their reconciliation
all subject
therapy.
to, and Jen has not yet hired a lawyer,
right?
Which is probably, we'll get into that at a different time. But it's looking about to be between, who knows,
5 to 15. I'm calling.
Well,
it.
for the lawyer, more than that, more than that.
Fun.
So
the cost of trying to be a parent,
as the judge told you, this is part of your job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is part of real life.
Yep. So, the private schools specifically, they need a re-enrollment decision. They needed it last week.
They needed it 2 weeks ago.
Okay, they needed it 2 weeks ago. Jen got an extension because she has not received an answer from ex-husband as to what his opinion is on this joint decision.
And I've asked him 4 times in the last month.
And I'm sorry, you're asking someone to help make a joint decision and they're refusing, and then you haven't even made a decision, but I probably would have just made the decision, and then you're accused of making a unilateral decision.
Right.
So when Jen doesn't hear back from her ex-husband about private school and his decision to re-enroll or not re-enroll, and you don't even email the attorney before the actual decision date is due. You wait until the extension is just about out. You send your ex-husband a message. He doesn't respond. Mm-hmm. And so now you're like, well, I don't want to be accused of making a unilateral decision.
Right.
Like I have been. Mm-hmm. I'm going to reach out to your attorney on this and ask what your decision is. Just give me a decision. Do you want her in this school or not?
And I included this question in an email that his attorney had already sent to me. He sent me an email about a bunch of other things. And I said, and hey, just want to let you know, Daddy, that this enrollment decision was due. Can you let me know what your client's decision is?
A week ago, I have an extension. The extension's about to run out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first email that I get back, this is a very long email, but the part specifically about school that says private school. I understand that this school has significantly lowered the financial aid contribution. Given you told the court you could not afford to pay anything toward reconciliation counseling or the guardian ad litem, and you have refused to pay the court-ordered judgments to date, it seems you cannot afford the difference in aid. Certainly, my client cannot afford to cover any additional costs associated with oldest child's attendance at the school. If you were paying your court-ordered judgments, then perhaps this would be a different discussion regarding ex-Homer's financial situation.
So wait, just read that line again.
Yep.
If you were paying me your court-ordered judgments, which is mostly attorney's fees, then we would have a different discussion about your child's
education.
School.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I actually, if, Daddy, can you tell me how this is what's best for kids?
Yeah, actually,
can you tell me how?
Come move in with me and help me
Yeah,
parent if
because
you're such a
I
good
actually
dad.
don't get this rationale that mom, if you're not willing to cover his fees, he's not willing to cover child's school.
Right. And this is when I started to breathe heavy. So this is actually, I'll just wrap this into the panic attack conversation. This is when I started to really breathe heavy.
Yeah, because these emails are what triggered the panic attack.
I knew I could see the pattern that school was about to blow up into something that was my fault. I knew this. We all saw it coming. But I was verbalizing this to a couple of different friends because I was so upset because I just knew it.
And because she's in middle school, and so she'd have to switch schools during her middle school time, which is not let's be clear, this is not the end of the world. Her not going to the same private school that she's, but it is a lot of instability while
dealing with this.
Yeah, exactly. While
she doesn't know anything about, but now all of a sudden,
she knows a lot about what's going on with her father because she was given access to his iPad.
And now they're talking about it in reconciliation therapy. But now she is being taken to a parking lot, which we've never done in 7 years, and having screaming, yelling matches with her father in front of her little sisters.
Yeah.
So they're just not supposed to know anything, but they're in counseling for it. They're not supposed to know anything, but then all of a sudden this we've operated for 7 years has gone out the window. And now mom and dad aren't supposed to talk to each other when he was just at your house. He was just in the house playing games with us.
Yeah.
So Okay, the rest of that email, a couple more sentences, was the reality is that unless you are willing to fully cover half the costs of the private school increases above the last school year, oldest child needs to consider alternatives. My 13-year-old child needs to be responsible for considering her own
That's
alternative.
literally what his email says.
That
her
could be
name
afforded by you and ex-Homer.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate, but the reality of the decisions and need for a guardian ad litem investigation you allegedly had no funds to contribute toward. Allegedly is real. I cannot afford that. I can't afford these attorney fees either. I don't know where you're thinking that I'm supposed to come up with this money magically. So he sent an additional email about it. And this one really gets me.
About school. Because you responded to that and asked for clarification.
Because he said she can't go there if you can't afford it. And I said, okay, is the decision?
The decision then is that she's not going to this school.
Wait, you're right. Is ex-Homer's decision that she's not going to school? No problem.
Yeah.
And so he said, as for your request for clarification, I believe the initial email was very clear, but I will provide the following further explanation given your alleged confusion. How condescending is that?
So condescending. The way this man communicates is so condescending.
And laughs at me. He probably does think this shit is entertaining. Actually, we know he does because he's quoting the podcast.
Well, no, but we were wrong. We are wrong for putting this in an entertaining light.
Yeah.
You're laughing in the middle of court. Let me just be clear. I saw you smirk, laugh, giggle during a court process. Yet this, a freaking podcast where the whole goal is to entertain and engage people and educate
and build a community,
is wrong. But you can sit up there and laugh during a hearing? I hate you. Okay, keep reading the email.
No. Ex-husband did not decide to withdraw oldest child from school.
And that is bolded and underlined.
And highlighted.
Okay, so she's going? Because I don't want to disenroll her either.
Right. That actually helped. You're right. I'm no longer confused.
Yeah.
Okay. Ex-Homer cannot afford to cover any additional fees for this school, which just a minute ago he said that all of the costs outside of the last year, we could split them. But now he says that he can't afford any additional.
Okay.
This is an hour apart. Okay.
And let me just be clear. Ex-Homer did just pay
$6,000
to the guardian ad litem. And for this communication to be happening is $400 an hour. So $450 an hour. So I just want to be clear. Mm-hmm. It's not about affordability. It's about prioritizing what's more important to you, whether it's your child's education or punishing mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, in court, they asked for and received less custody than he currently has. So it's not about the kids. Because if he thought the kids were really unsafe,
he'd be asking for them.
So go ahead.
Okay. Okay, wait, hold on. Ex-Homer cannot afford to cover any additional fees for this school, in significant part because of the decisions you have made and continue to make that have reduced his financial capabilities.
Did you force him to hire an attorney?
No.
Did you force him to ask for a GAL?
No.
Did you force him to give the kids an iPad?
No.
Did you force him to log his children into his iCloud account?
No.
Did you force him to expose your children to inappropriate things about his sexual escapades?
Nope.
To a 12-year-old?
Nope.
Did you force him to cheat on his ex-girlfriend where he was living with the kids and then be removed from that house because of his infidelity?
Nope.
Did you force him to then find a new home / girlfriend and then move the kids into there 2 months later?
No.
Did you force him to get married to this new woman?
Nope.
Did you force him to then lie to all their children about whether or not they were married or not?
Nope.
Did you force the children to find out about said marriage through grandma?
Nope.
Did you force children to then ask other stepchildren if they were married and then that blow up into a huge fight in that house too?
Nope.
Okay, I need to get to the part where you forced this.
Well, yeah, it's just because I'm a shitty mom. So if I weren't such a bad mom...
Okay, wait, explain this to me like I'm a man.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to get it because you're a man. But mom...
How did you force all of this? Did he come and ask you for more custody of the kids and you told him no?
No.
Did he come to you and say to you, I don't like these transportation arrangements. Can we move them someplace else?
No.
Did he come to you and say, I want 3 weeks in the summer, Jen, and if you don't give it to me, I'm going to ask for a modification of this plan?
Nope.
Did he come to you and say, I don't want all the holidays anymore, Jen? I want you to have half of them?
Well, I should have assumed that because he doesn't usually take advantage of them, but no, there was never an ask.
Was there a written ask?
No.
A verbal ask?
Nope.
An ask through a third party?
No.
He never came to
No.
you and asked. Okay.
No.
Okay. Sorry. I'm just trying to be clear
I know.
at what actions
So what I did wrong was I prioritized my children's health, safety, well-being. I prioritized including their father in things. I prioritized making sure that they were available for him to pick up outside of his regular time whenever he wanted it. If they wanted to go to dinner, or if he wanted to do something with them. And I did not prioritize making sure that he wasn't out doing things and then exposing our children to them. And then our children having reactions about those things.
You know what you needed to do, though? What you should have done? You should have been a mind reader.
I know.
You should have been a psychic. You should have known that these were the things that he was looking for.
Right.
Which equate to less time with the children. You should have known he wanted less time with the children. And in order to get there, he was going to accuse you of having mental health issues.
And parental alienation.
And in the end, this is how it was going to be. And okay, and what I will say is clearly there was an issue going on. Clearly, oldest child wasn't going.
Right.
I'm not trying to minimize that. He never came to you though and was like, "Let's do reconciliation therapy."
No, I came to him
when after he hired the attorney because he wasn't
before that. When this stuff started happening,
yeah.
when I was going to him and saying, hey, here's what's going on. Hey, come talk to her. Hey, do you want to come into my house? Hey, do you want this? Hey, do you want that? Hey, she's uncomfortable over at your new girlfriend's house. Hey,
you lied to her and told her you weren't bringing her to new girlfriend's house. You were bringing her to grandma's, and then you did, and she's furious at you. Talk to her.
And now that makes it look like I'm doing something wrong. I'm not allowing him to
have his own
exclusively.
relationship with his kids. So, and that's what I do want to say. Like that, there were clearly issues going on. I don't want to minimize the fact that on ex-husband's side, there were issues going on. What I do want to say is that resolving those conflicts in this way of paying attorneys tens of thousands of dollars, I don't see how that's in the best interest of the kids.
No, it's not. Who now I don't think is going to be able to go to her school.
Right. And now that's your fault because, and let me be clear, basic problem solving, basic communication was completely surpassed into a court process that then points the finger. And I mean, I'd love to say that this is like a you issue or a me issue.
Right, because we can fix it then.
Yeah, but it's not. Instead of being able to take accountability from how maybe your actions have affected other people, it's easier to say, none of this is my fault. I'm going to blame this other person and I'm going to get the court to agree with me because that's how the laws are structured.
I'm going to pay a shit ton of money for an attorney to personally attack the mother of my children repeatedly until she has a panic attack. So the rest of this email, because
sorry, I know we're still going on to this email.
This is just important about the decisions I have made that continue to make him have reduced financial capability. Ex-Homer is agreeable for oldest child to remain at this school if you cover the significant cost difference. You, by choosing not to cover the difference, are making the decision to withdraw oldest child. Again, highlighted. Please do advise what you decide in regard to oldest child's enrollment at this school for next year.
Mic drop.
What? And I saw it coming.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess I am a mind reader, actually. So I can't breathe. I almost passed out getting up to get a tissue. Once I got the kids off to school, they were having a great day. I lit candles. I started a load of laundry before I started my work day. I made breakfast before I started my work day. Logged into my computer, have a big project, a really big project that I have to get to.
That you just got on top of it.
And this, within hours.
Yeah. All of this just piling on you. Work, oldest child's school, the finger pointing being blamed at you.
I have to work because I have to be able to pay these fees.
Right.
I also have burned through every bit of a ton of PTO that I had. So I'm down to a very small amount of PTO because I have had to use this to get through this court case pro se. And to get through being a mother and to get through trying to be a good person and just trying to exist.
Yeah.
And this had me on the ground. I couldn't breathe. I was starting to not be able to see when my vision goes black, when I have a very severe panic attack, which hasn't happened in a very long time. And I couldn't do it. And I called my ex-husband, said, you need to talk to me. It's an emergency with the kids. In the emergency, I have a big work project. You need to come get the kids. You have the right of first refusal. I'm going to be
according to this new parenting plan. It's my obligation to call you first to see if you want the kids, because I'm going to arrange for
someone.
It's his weekend anyway, so it's really just 2 days.
Yeah, it is.
It's not that long, but like you need to get the kids today, because I have to get my life in order right now.
Yeah. And all while I could hardly breathe.
Yeah.
Hardly see.
Yeah.
And all while I'm being accused also of giving some woman I don't know anxiety.
Right. That's the ironic part, is that like new estranged wife / fiance / ex-fiance, that was her big thing during this restraining order hearing, is that
I gave her anxiety.
It's your fault. You're Jen giving her anxiety.
Right.
She can't perform at work. As women, what are we doing to other women?
Right. Right.
Including us. Let's just be real. I mean, but I don't blame her. That's the difference. She's blaming you. I don't blame her.
Right.
She can step out.
I don't blame her either.
Yeah. I feel like you do a really good job, actually, of not putting the blame on.
I blame her for the restraining order, because that was a decision that she chose to pursue without needing to. Because if she went through and read all of the messages that she shared as exhibits, she would see that I had extended an olive branch, that the conversation instead could have been, hey.
I think a part of it too, Jen, and I'm just going to say, because your ex-husband, and I know like we talked about this briefly the other day, that I asked you specifically, have you guys ever rendezvoused since your divorce?
Yeah.
But the reality is he's texting you in the middle of the night. He's asking you to spend the night at Great Wolf Lodge. I would also not be happy if I was
with
her.
not enough beds, and that I'm invited, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to come.
Yeah.
But it's open to. I'd love to host you.
Yeah. I mean, let's just be real. I know your ex-husband, and it just...
I know the messages that I've received from him.
So do I.
I know the way that he's acted.
And so do I. And as women, it's really easy to get mad at the other woman. And so I'm sure if she's looked through his phone, I'm sure she's seen stuff that doesn't make her happy. I wouldn't be happy either. And I've been on the other side of that.
Right.
Where someone has accused me of having an inappropriate relationship with a man that I'm not in a relationship with, just by pure volume of texting, by pure time of texting.
Right.
And it sucks. And it was in a work situation. And he was my boss on top of it. And I did not feel okay about that. You know? So I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that I, as a woman, understand that kind of
anxiety and feeling and stress and confusion.
I'm going to show you who his loyalty is to.
Right.
And it's not to you, it's
surprise.
to me. Right. And it doesn't even matter at this point, because it's all really water under the bridge. I know you, and I know at this point you're not touching that.
Right.
So
crickets.
You just can't get around it.
No, but he can, and that's the problem. I have to stop letting him get around it.
That's what I want.
Letting him get whatever he wants, and he's a man, so we know what he wants. Yes. All of us know what he wants.
Yeah.
A home and a lay.
Right? That's literally, and it is that simple. I do think men are that simple. According to Steve, men are that simple.
Yeah. What I think is really interesting, though, is that like a lot of men take a lot of pride in where they live and paying bills and things. My ex-husband is really doing a great job putting himself in the biological maternal role of how women.
Oh yeah, he wants as that message said to you from a friend that you don't really know.
All he does
is look for the first thing he says when he starts dating someone new is how much money she makes.
And he's told many people that he's gonna leave his job because this new estranged wife makes so much money. She wants him to be a stay-at-home dad. He's gonna get custody of the kids. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that.
And she's told him that he deserves this because of how hard he's worked. He's 40.
Yeah.
I'm like, who deserves? I deserve it. But anyone else?
And he tells everybody that she wants to support him.
Yes, I've heard this. I have heard this from mutuals.
Do you not get grossed out?
It wouldn't be attractive to me if a man was
not providing.
Yeah, but I do feel differently. A lot of women do take pride in being able to support, I guess. I take pride in being able to support my children, for sure.
I had pride in supporting him when we met for years.
You did. So you were that woman. Yeah.
And that was normal for him.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is it tracks because none of this is any different. We're all the same. You know, that it's very common and it's going to be all your fault.
no matter what I say.
That you're the ex-wife trying to stir the pot. You're the ex-wife that won't let go. This is the weird thing about these custody situations is a lot of people experience high conflict relationships and family dynamics. It's clearly, it is a huge thing now where people then cut off contact between siblings or parents or all those things. When you have 3 kids, you don't have that option. And it's strange because in a court situation, that it might have even graduated, and in my case did, from just high conflict to straight up abuse, straight up threats, straight up physical threats.
Yeah.
And you are forced to communicate, interact, and quote unquote, get along for the sake of the kids.
Yeah.
I don't have that choice at this point to go no contact point,
and that was
to cut it off.
Physical abuse for you.
Yeah.
And you were also dealing with emotional abuse and court abuse.
So
I'm also dealing with court abuse and emotional abuse.
Yes. And so you're in this position where you still have to communicate with this man.
Right.
And if there's a text message coming through in the middle of the night, you can't block his number.
Right.
And so you're looking at it, and whether it's appropriate or not appropriate, you're still looking at it, and breaking those cycles of toxic relationships are really hard in the best of circumstances.
Well, and you're getting out of the car at pickup, but we're not supposed to get out of the car, and coming over and leaning over into my car.
And giving you your favorite candy.
And so if I call the police there because I'm scared, nervous, any of the things, I'm not, by the way, but just as an example.
Yeah, careful, because that's what they're accusing you of.
I have called the police one time, and I've been accused by both his new estranged wife and his attorney and him of repeatedly calling the police. So you tell me what I'm supposed to do. If somebody is those behaviors, and him standing over me and having threatening, posturing behavior has happened. It is not happening as he's standing over in my car, but it has happened.
Yeah, I know.
So what am I supposed to do then?
And these are the toxic cycles of domestic violence, right? Fight, hit, flowers. Fight, hit, flowers. I know enough about domestic violence that that's how these cycles of abuse work. And I'm sorry, I'm witnessing a real life domestic violence situation across the street from my house right now. The cops have been there 4 times in the last week. 4 times! In the last 7 days, there's been multiple police officers responding because these cycles are very, very difficult to break. And the fact that and you're not calling the police, but even if you were, and you were a part of this kind of domestic, emotional.
What am I supposed to do instead?
Take it, not defend yourself. Okay, so I do want to get back to the email and the education. Did you respond to that email?
No, I hit the ground. I stopped. I couldn't do anything else. I'm frozen. And I know that it sounds like there was just 2 emails and they were about school. These were very long, detailed emails that had about 19 other things about how horrible I am.
But the stuff about your kids and it being your fault, if your child is not going to be able to go to the school she's been going to, hits the hardest.
Well,
because above all, that's your priority.
Financial health is dependent on me paying $2,000 to $3,000 worth of your fees. That's not reality.
Yeah.
That's not real.
If you were paying the court order fees, maybe this would be a different discussion.
And all through
you are paying.
Right.
I mean, that's like the crazy part. I'm like,
well, and his argument
it's threatening,
is that
it's posturing,
it's a
bullying.
Judgment. It's a judgment, so it should be paid
It's in effect immediately. And it is.
But how much time do you think that me, as a single mother, needs to come up with funds?
Once again, the only person with a stable address, and if destabilizing that person is your priority, you win.
That's not their priority. The priority is our children and us having a positive co-parenting relationship. Right. Jenny Lynn, have you not?
And here's the thing.
And it's all about the kids.
And I want them to really hear me when I say this. You win.
Yeah. What are you doing?
We lose. I mean, like, I don't know.
And the kids lose.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if we've been beating around the bush, but I feel like we freaking say it left and right.
Yeah.
Loser, 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 loser.
Yeah.
And really, yes, it's the kids who are losing.
Yeah.
You win, kids lose.
Right.
So
I lost. And we've said that repeatedly.
But yeah, we're saying the system is set up for us to lose.
Right.
We're not up here saying, oh, the system found this wrong. We're up here saying this system is broken. And the fact that they're able to do this and do this in a way that is lawful.
And I have not claimed once that I've done everything right. You've not claimed once that you've done everything right, Jenny Lynn. We're just trying to exist and give our children healthy, stable lives. And there are men and a system in place that are encouraging the 2 of those parts of this equation to hurt our children.
Yeah, but under the guise of it being their best interest.
The best interest. This is in the best interest of the children.
Yeah, and clearly this subject is very, very, very layered. And I do feel like we're only brushing the top of it because,
Right.
I mean, marriage is the easy example to me. If marriage was good for women, they would have outlawed it a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, and I want to understand how, if the children are supposed to know nothing about this, but I have one in reconciliation therapy, all three of them are being exchanged in the middle of a parking lot. They notice all of these things. So then you tell me, when a guardian ad litem comes to the house to interview 10-year-olds and a 13-year-old, what's your lie? Because you don't lie, right? We can't lie about a hockey game. We can lie about a marriage, not a hockey game.
Yeah.
We have to lie about court, but not a marriage.
Right.
What is the guise that we're presenting this guardian ad litem under?
No matter what that
Hey,
conversation,
this is mom's friend.
no matter what that conversation looks like, you're going to be wrong.
Right.
No matter what, right? Because on paper, my
Right.
ex-husband wrote, I'm going to come at you with both barrels. And then he went out and bought 5 assault rifles. And still, I had no reason to be in fear.
Right. Until he was going to burn your house down.
Yep. This is what she testified to. So it doesn't matter what your response is. It doesn't matter what your conversation looks like or doesn't look like, or what kind of explanation you're giving. No matter what, it's wrong.
I should respect it because it's a part of the court process.
Yep. That you just have to speak loud and clear, but not too loud. And
Don't be too mean.
and
Don't
not-
be too nice.
and not too clear. You have to present put together and like this is not affecting you, but also you have to seem empathetic and this is serious, but not too serious, not serious enough that you're going to explain to your kids anything about it. You're going to have to be showing up at work, but also just using your PTO if you need help. You can't let work know that any of this is happening. I mean, they made a whole Barbie movie out of this.
Right.
I'm basically Barbie right now.
You're America Ferrera.
I mean, but it's the reality. Like, you have to show up and be a strong, stable, loving parent to your child while showing up in a parking lot now.
In a vacuum.
And taking them to reconciliation therapy while somehow navigating this in a way where we don't know what the approach is supposed to be. We're guessing. But
You were supposed to do more.
And you're not going to do it right.
I can't tell you what you did wrong,
Yep.
but you didn't do enough. And Dad, just make sure that you make those appointments for reconciliation therapy.
I see that you're not doing all of them, Dad, and this is important. As the
it.
freaking therapist said to Dad too, hey, you look pretty disengaged here.
This is important. This is your
This
child.
is your child. This is important. And what did he say?
I'm just tired.
Exactly.
Same thing about the school decision. I was just too busy at work and I've been tired.
Yep. Yep. But if she's not re-enrolled at school, that this is,
It's my fault.
I want to make sure you 100% know that this is your decision.
But as Dad,
But it's supposed to be mutual.
yeah, but he won't go withdraw or enroll her.
I think too that you should say this seems like a issue for mediation. Can we get in mediation immediately to resolve this?
I don't think I'm going to be sending any further communications.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, let's talk about what is not the worst thing that happened to you this week.
Jenny Lynn, what's not the worst thing that happened to you this week?
Not the worst thing that happened to me this week was that I was in like a little fender bender, and with the park car. I was moving; it was parked. Let me just be clear.
I don't know.
And this is why women shouldn't drive.
I have this new theory that he was rolling.
Well, it's really strange because I was at my son's pickup. It was not my day. He called me at the last.
What were you doing there?
He called me.
Parenting police. Parenting plan, please.
He called me at the last minute. I had been sleeping, actually, to come and pick him up.
What
And
time was it?
It was in the afternoon.
Loser. Where's the guardian ad litem so I can tell them that we have a sleeper in the afternoon?
A sleeping mom. You are not allowed to nap unless you need it for your personal help. But even then, it can't be more than 20 minutes. But if it is 20 minutes, you need to make sure that your phone is on, because if your child calls you, yes. Okay. So I was picking him up from the ferry dock from school. That's where he gets off of school. And I was just pulling in front of a car, and my back wheel well hit the front bumper. So I really don't know this car. I just got this car, and it has so many sensors. And also
So
too,
many.
like typically, like if your front end clears something, there's no reason why I should have hit this car. It was my fault. Let me just be clear.
You didn't nap long enough.
But what I hit was a 2016 Toyota Corolla, and apparently dented 2 panels. The car itself, Blue Book on it is like $6,000. It's gonna cost me $2,800 to
The
fix
rest
it.
of that car is a piece of shit.
And I was really, really upset. And it's like the hidden costs too, right? Of being
a
the
woman driver.
being the primary parent.
Right.
That you're on the road more when you're driving around.
Yeah.
You're buying more food. You're buying more clothes. The chances of you getting in a little fender bender and it costing you a few $1,000s, because it really is just the cost of being the parent that shows up, the parent that will show up no matter what.
Yeah.
And this week it's going to cost me $2,800. And that is actually also my week in hell, because $2,800 is a lot of money. And I am trying to swallow this pill.
And she's making donations to someone's legal fund.
Right. And it also didn't help that the guy who got out of the car was like an older white male with a golf hat in probably his mid-60s. And he was furious at me. He literally got out of the car and threw his arms up in the air in almost the exact same place where my ex-husband threw his arms up in the air at me like a month ago or
A few episodes ago.
yeah.
Go find it.
Yeah. I was like, am I really doing this again? And I immediately was like, I'm so sorry, sir. Bet you are, is what his response was to me. And I was like, well, okay. Got it.
Correct, or I wouldn't have said that. Ask my ex-husband.
Yeah. Yeah. So at least I'm getting practice saying I'm sorry. Please, thank you. I'm
For
sorry.
like a real reason.
Please,
Good
thank
job.
you. Yeah.
Well, it was actually a science experiment for you.
What?
Am I able to say, can I hit somebody's car so that I can give a proper apology? Because that is something you're sorry for.
And you know what I did do? Because this guy was not nice to me at all.
Hit it again.
My mom, when I was on the phone crying to her, she was like, give it to Steve. Don't even deal with this man. Let it. And you know what? It's gone way better since Steve has been dealing with it.
Ugh.
And that's sad. But you know what? I'm not going to change the system right now. And honestly, he's not wrong. I shouldn't have hit his car. You know, like it was a pure accident.
Right. What? That's
Pure
what an accident is.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny?
Well, the
is that-
shitty thing is that in Seattle, our insurance is so expensive anyways that it's more beneficial for me just to pay it out of pocket than it is to run it through my insurance. Right?
accidents are okay.
Okay. What's not the worst thing that happened to you this week, Jen?
Can we do opposite day today?
What are we, 5?
5. Not
Yes.
because I have had a hellish week, but we just went through that.
Yeah,
So
that's
we've
like
addressed
your
that.
whole, it was not a good week.
Opposite of that is that yesterday, as I had this going on, Jenny Lynn was coming over, and I was having trouble even texting or calling anybody at this time.
I didn't know this was going on. I was
asking her to come over, but I wasn't like, urgent, come over now. I was just like, hey, come over. And I meant it to begin with because I just wanted her to come.
But
to
you
breakfast.
were like, your text message to me was like, I'm making breakfast.
Well, because I wasn't panicking.
Come
at that
over.
point. I meant
And
it.
I
I
was
was
like-
trying to have a really good day.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm just wrapping some things up though. It'll probably be 20 minutes.
And then I was like, okay. And then I called again when I started breathing heavy. And
but
then I
didn't leave a
called-
message and you call once. Okay, sorry.
And
Just
then I
defending
called my
myself.
sister. And then at the end of the call, I thought to myself, because I was starting to really lose my breath. So I was getting off the phone with my sister so I could cry in private, is what I like to call it sometimes when I want a really ugly cry. My sister reminds me that I am an ugly crier, so don't do that around people. She's a pretty crier and she doesn't cry very much. I was like, I should ask her to call Jenny Lynn. I should really ask her to call
you
Jenny Lynn.
should've.
And I just couldn't get it out. And so it kind of abruptly hung up on her. And simultaneously, I had a friend who is not somebody I know very well, but I know her kids. I really, really like her. And she's a mutual friend of mine and Jenny Lynn's, but for different reasons. And she was asking about our oldest child being re-enrolled in this school. She was like, she's coming, right? Everybody wants your kid at this school. Like, what's the decision that you've made?
Right,
And-
because in these private schools too, it is kind of like a peer pressure situation. When I went to disenroll my son from private school, when I was going through all this court stuff, I had all these, I think maybe even the school, I don't even know, but I had definitely moms reach out to me like, hey, I hear he's not re-enrolled yet.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah. Well, and so as this is happening, I'm getting these emails. And so I told her, I said, I'm just not really having a good time. And
Yeah, this is not going well for me.
but I'm really brief in my messages. And so then I sent her a screenshot that I'd just gotten from the email because I'm like,
From the
this is-
attorney?
yeah, about school. I'm like, here's your
Yeah.
answer. It's actually not, it's somehow my decision and somehow not my decision all at the same time. And Jenny Lynn is coming over shortly. And this woman, I think, understands from my messages, like, hey, this is the time we show up. And I don't expect this. She doesn't say anything to me. just have somebody pound on my door. So I immediately think it's a process server.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to the door right now. I can hardly move. And I hear, it's okay. You can answer. It's just me. And I don't know the voice.
Yeah.
But also this woman has been at my house dropping off a kid as I've been being served in the past. So it was really funny.
Oh yeah, I
She
forgot about that.
Yeah, she like knows. And so I go and I'm like, I don't think a process server would say that. It would be very smart. They should start doing that.
Right.
Because it would have got me. And so I went to go see who it is. And it was her. And she was at my door. And I just saw her. And I was in pieces. She just held me up. She said, you go lay on the couch. We've got this. What are we going to do?
Let's make a plan.
And I did not know how bad I needed that. And then a second later, so she's at my front door. She's in. She's got me laying down on the couch. And Jenny Lynn comes in the back door and she's like, what is going on? Are you okay? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, no.
Well, because then too, when I saw her sitting there, I did kind of panic. I was like, well, is everything okay? Like,
right.
What's happening?
No, everything was not okay.
Yeah. And that's what she's looked at me. She's like, no, this is not okay. I was like, yeah.
And I never say that. I'm always like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I just cry. It's going to be okay. I don't feel okay. This is not going to be okay. This will never be okay for me. He can win. He will win. He won. It's never going to be okay again.
Well, your relationship with the father of your child will never be okay again. You will be okay again. I know you will. You will.
Easy for you to say over there.
I do. I know you will.
But our children are going to be forever damaged by these things.
Absolutely. And children carry this trauma of divorce. Even the easiest divorces, they carry that kind of trauma, let alone this.
Yep.
So once again, if you can explain to me how all of this is in the best interest of the kids, please start a podcast. Mm-hmm. Someone.
Yeah.
Explain it.
Anyone.
Well, I'm glad.
So it was actually really great though. It's what it didn't sound really positive, but it was like the two of you there made me feel like the world stopped for a minute. It was going to be okay. And I felt the support of 100 women in that moment. Like, nope, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be honest about it. It's okay to be loud about it. You should be loud about it. Especially from a person like me that is usually just okay.
Yeah.
This shit happens and it is fucking awful.
Yeah.
And it is not okay to do this to people. It's not okay to do this to my kids.
Yeah. It's not okay. And you do have this support of 100 women because you have the support of everyone listening.
I know.
And even if it doesn't feel like that, even if whoever's listening doesn't feel like that, you also have the support of all of us. Yeah. We have to, even if, like I said, even if you don't agree, it's like, even if you're not doing everything right, even this is your decision by not being able to afford it. And that's you know what? It's okay. We'll get through it. Mm-hmm. Well,
if you feel alone and you feel like you have no one, you can reach out to us.
Yeah, because if we don't have each other's backs through all of this, if no one's listening, which realistically, no one's actually listening. Even if they're listening, they're not listening. We will get through it. And hopefully at some point things will shift and things will change. Okay, so let's wrap this up.
All right.
See you over the phone.
See you over the phone.
Bye.
Bye.